Hi there, my name is Marcus Lee, filmmaker from Real Street Films, and I wanted to do a quick video about the thing we've been talking about all week, which is the Harry and Meghan interview with Oprah Winfrey. One of my big takeaways was the subject of racism, because Harry and Meghan discussed experiences of racism that they feel they had encountered with the royal family. And this is my takeaway from this. Stop telling people who've experienced racism that their experience isn't valid. Stop telling people that it's not really racist, you're just lying, you're just making it up, or you're overreaching, you're assuming, you're making a bigger deal out of it than it needs to be. If someone says, I went through this awful, tragic, terrible time, who are we to say, no you didn't, you weren't there, you weren't in the room, you haven't lived their life, you haven't been through what they've been through. Why do we do that? As a black person, I'm so tired of people telling us that experience of racism that you think you went through, no, that's not racism. You're making a big deal out of it. It wasn't racism, it's just a joke, or you're taking things too seriously, or you need to lighten up, or you make everything about race. I don't make everything about race. I make things that are about race. And I'm also tired of people who haven't experienced racism, who haven't had that experience, passing judgment on my experience. Listen, I've never experienced sexism in the workplace. I've never experienced sexual harassment in the workplace. So for me to suddenly decide that I know everything there is to know and I can pass judgment about people who claim this sexual harassment and then start saying things like, no, you're taking it too seriously, you need to learn how to have a laugh and just take a joke, don't take things too seriously. I've got no right and I've got no experience to tell other people who've experienced that their experience isn't valid. So I suppose what I'm trying to say in this really short video is, listen, we all need to learn to stop passing judgment, especially on things that we have very little or no knowledge of. I feel like my mate Ronan Keating said it best when he said, you say it best when you say nothing at all. Mini X Factor audition right there. But it's so true. Instead of deciding that I'm gonna give my opinion and I'm gonna say lots of things and decide whether someone is telling the truth or not on a subject that I know very little or nothing about and I've got no experience in that area, learn to stay silent, or better still, ask someone who's been through that experience. If you want to talk about racism, talk to some people who experienced some racism before you start passing judgment. If you want to talk to someone about sexism in the workplace, talk to some people who've actually been through that and listen to their experience, other than just deciding, well, I don't really like that person, so I'm just going to decide that they're lying. Whether you like Meghan Markle, whether you love her or hate her, doesn't change what she's been through. If she's experienced racism, then she's experienced racism. And if you like her or not, it still needs to be addressed and it's still not okay. But you can't decide that someone hasn't had that bad experience or is lying simply because you don't like them. So there were so many takeaways from that interview, but that was one of the things that jumped out to me because I suppose it struck a nerve with me. So that's all I've got to say about that for now, but the conversation needs to keep going. But at this moment in time, I'm gonna go get me some lunch. Thanks for watching, take care, peace.